everyone, and a very warm welcome to you. Imagine waking up before sunrise to the sound of relentless gunfire echoing through your community. Families running for safety. Children are separated from their parents. And within minutes, a peaceful village is transformed into a scene of horror. That is the heartbreaking reality residents of Ifeyi community in Otokpo local government area of Benue State say they experienced after another deadly attack claimed numerous lives. The latest incident has once again renewed concerns over the worsening security situation in parts of Benue State, where communities continue to live under the constant threat of violent attacks. The Punch reported that suspected armed herders invaded Ifeyi community in the Ubuju district of Otokpo local government area, killing at least 15 people during an early morning attack. According to reports, the attackers stormed the community while residents were still asleep, firing sporadically as they advanced through the area. The incident is the latest in a series of deadly attacks that have left many communities in Benue State grieving and displaced. According to a resident, identified simply as Okbe, the attackers entered the community at about 5 a.m. and continued their assault for several hours before security personnel responded. Speaking in a telephone interview, he described the situation as heartbreaking, saying the community was overwhelmed by fear as gunmen moved from one area to another, shooting indiscriminately. He added that many residents fled into nearby bushes, while others were unable to escape the violence. Okbe alleged that the attackers were Fulani herders and said that by the time the shooting subsided, at least 15 bodies had been recovered while search efforts continued for people who were still missing. According to him, the community remained in shock as families desperately searched for loved ones who had not been accounted for following the attack. The full casualty figure, he suggested, could rise if more victims were discovered during ongoing search operations. The chairman of Otokpo local government area, Maxwell Ogiri, also confirmed that the community had come under attack. He stated that 14 bodies had been recovered while several other residents sustained varying degrees of injuries. According to the council chairman, the attack was completely unprovoked, and he identified the attackers as Fulani herders. He said many residents from neighboring communities had begun fleeing over fears that further attacks could occur. Ogiri expressed concern over the growing atmosphere of fear across the community, explaining that people were abandoning their homes in search of safer locations. He also questioned why security agencies were unable to prevent or quickly stop the attack despite the presence of police, military personnel, mobile police units, and agro rangers operating within the region. According to him, communities continue to feel vulnerable despite the deployment of multiple security formations. The council chairman further alleged that stronger enforcement of Benue State's anti-open grazing law is necessary if lasting peace is to be achieved. He stated that existing measures would have little impact without effective enforcement, warning that communities would continue to experience repeated attacks unless authorities address the underlying security challenges. He added that while local governments could provide logistical support for security agencies, operational decisions remain the responsibility of federal security institutions. The latest attacks comes only weeks after another deadly assault in Otokpo, Nobi, also within Otokpo local government area, where several people reportedly lost their lives. The repeated attacks have intensified fears among residents who now worry that violence is becoming increasingly frequent in communities across the area. Many families have reportedly abandoned farms and businesses, fearing they could become the next targets. Reacting to the latest incident, Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia expressed grief over the killings and extended condolences to the affected families. In a statement issued through his chief press secretary, Kula Tezu, the governor condemned the attack and vowed that those responsible would face justice. He also commended security personnel for their response after the attack. According to the governor, officers of the Benue State Police Command pursued the suspected attackers after receiving reports of the incident. During the operation, security personnel reportedly exchanged gunfire with the fleeing suspects, resulting in the killing of 2 suspected armed bandits who were allegedly providing cover for the other attackers as they attempted to escape. Security operations in the area are said to be continuing as authorities work to apprehend other suspects. Governor Alia reaffirmed his administration's commitment to supporting security agencies in protecting lives and property across the state. He stated that his government will continue working with law enforcement agencies to ensure that those responsible for violent attacks are brought to justice. He also stressed that residents should not be forced to abandon their ancestral homes because of criminal violence. The governor described the people of Benue as peaceful and hardworking and said protecting them remained one of his administration's highest priorities. He emphasized that every legitimate effort will be made to improve security and restore confidence among residents attacked by recurring attacks. His comments come as many communities continue calling for stronger and more sustained security operations throughout the state. Communities in Otukpo and neighboring Ohimini local government area have experienced repeated attacks in recent weeks. Some members of the public have speculated that the violence could be connected to tensions following the killing of the Benue State chairman of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Makban, Risco Mohammed, after a peaceful meeting in the area. However, security agencies have not officially linked the latest attacks to that incident, and investigations remain ongoing. As investigations continue, many questions remain unanswered regarding the identity of those responsible, the motive behind the attack, and what additional measures can be taken to prevent further bloodshed. The latest tragedy has once again highlighted the enormous security challenges facing rural communities in Benue State. For the grieving families who have lost loved ones, the immediate priority is justice, while for thousands of residents still living in fear, the hope is that meaningful action will finally bring lasting peace to their communities. For more updates, stay with us on News Express. I am Cassie Tony.